Yo, what is going on, guys? Guido here, bringing you another Black Desert online video. Today I'm going to be covering the most recent May 13th changes on the global labs. I don't really do videos like this, but because the changes are so massive, I wanted to take some time out to pretty much go over this with you guys. So essentially, I'm going to be going over the succession changes first, and then I'm going to be going over the awakening changes after. The awakening changes are pretty cool, so I just want to save that for the end. So, pretty much, Succession Berserker, I told you guys at the Voice of Adventures event that I spoke to the project managers at Pearl Abyss. I also spoke to the developers and leads over there, and they were very familiarized with how strong Succession Berserker was, not only for its dive potential, but just naturally how strong it just is as a class, just overall. So they wanted to tune him down a bit, essentially. Now, I thought that from the message that I got from them, they were going to nerf his stamina. I don't know if they're going to be doing that next week. He got like an indirect nerf to his stamina, and I'll be going over pretty much what that means in a bit here. But they didn't directly nerf his stamina too much. They only nerfed it indirectly, which I'll get to, like I said, in a bit. But we're going to be going down in order, and I'll be telling you exactly what changed. So the first change on Succession Berserker is Prime Beastly Windslash. This skill out of Lava Piercer now is only a FG. It was a super armor before, so now it's an FG. Prime Fear Strike. This used to be a super armor. Now it's a FG. Prime Predatory Hunt. This is where it starts getting insane. It no longer CCs on every ground slam, so it only CCs on the very last end of the animation. I'll show that on screen with what I mean. So essentially, the first hit no longer bounds, the second hit no longer bounds, the third hit no longer bounds, the fourth hit no longer bounds. The only part of the fourth hit that bounds is the very last hit, where after you do the final leap into the air and then you touch the ground again, that last hit CCs. So the description is very deceiving in that it doesn't tell you that. So essentially, there is no CC on this ability anymore. So you can kiss that goodbye. The damage hasn't changed on it, but the CCs are now gone. The next change is Black Spirit Rage, Prime Fearsome Tyrant. This ability now gives you Bestial Rage while in it, which is really good. It's very wanted change. Prime Ancient Wave is no longer a super armor in the beast state. It's only a FG. Prime Evasion, when going from Lava Piercer into Evasion, that's also only a FG now. And the second biggest change now is going to be Weakling Hunt. Not only out of Lava Piercer, but just naturally the ability. This is a FG during its whole animation from a super armor, so it went from super armor to FG. And the last and probably one of the biggest changes on here was a Lava Piercer, rank 1 to 3, and Prime Lava Piercer have their total range, like distance that they have, reduced. So I tested this. Feels like it's about like a 30 to 50% reduction in distance. So I was telling you guys before about how essentially that it's like an indirect nerf to stamina. So pretty much because the distance is lowered now, you're in super armor for a lot less time, so you don't have as much time now to recover stamina while being in Lava Piercer, which is an indirect nerf to the amount of stamina that you have in total. So you can't just be sitting in this ability, running around forever, and just brain dead regaining stamina. So that's not a thing anymore. So I said this yesterday in my stream, but the biggest takeaway from this whole thing is not to look at it all as a nerf, but instead as there is definitely some nerfs here. Okay, so like the Lava Piercer changes, the Weakling Hunt change, and the Predatory Hunt change are the three biggest nerfs here. That's undeniable. But on the bright side, you have forward guards now in the kit. The kit before, Succession Berserker before, did not have any forward guards at all. You had nothing. So the pros of this all is that you have a lot more damage mitigation, making you tankier in damage trades and combat. You have just a lot more mitigation from range, long range targets not being able to kill you instantly from range anymore when tackling rock is down, or using your RNG FG from headbutt to Storming Beast. So that's not a thing anymore. You can FG perfectly fine with your claws or your weakling hunt skill. And keep in mind, you can turn the motion of your character with these skills too. So while you're rooted and stationary, you can still move around with your camera. So it's not like you're completely open to the back and the rear. You can mitigate not only against damage, long range damage in general, but it's also really good against debuffs. Like Succession Berserker, the number one problem you'd have is since you're in SA all the time, you would be dealing with the cons of essentially being debuffed forever. So that's not going to really be a thing as much. So, and it's really good because you don't have any attack speed bonuses as Succession Berserker. So this is really good. This is like a really good change for that. The cons of this, though, of everything being FG, is that there's a lot of abilities in the game that go through FG, like Awakening Ranger's ability, their penetrating skill, Corsair's ability that goes through FG, Nova's combat ability, I don't know what it's called. When you're fighting other Succession Berserkers, their weakling hunts go through FG. Feral Stampede goes through FG. Striker's Spiral Cannon goes through FG. I forgot what the Mystic skill is. I'm pretty sure that also goes through FG, or it's very easy to just go around it. And not to mention all the block jumps, like DK, Sork, Hash, Kuno, and Ninja. I don't know if I said Sork. But, so those are the cons with it, which is, that's a very big deal. But if you time your abilities right, I think it'll honestly be better in a lot of ways. So let's not look at this as it's all cons. Like I said, there's definitely some nerfs here. Like I said, the biggest things being Predatory Hunt, Lava Piercer, Distance Change, and obviously the change to Weakling Hunt FG, like from SA to FG, so that's a massive thing. But don't look at it as everything is like a con. Not everything is bad here, okay? So that's pretty much these succession changes. I showed you guys these on screen. They're not all bad, like I said, but they're definitely going to ruffle the feathers of the Foddermers, the flavor of the month players and rerollers. So it's definitely going to affect them. So I wanted to also talk about how the Awakening Berserker change is also massive. I'm going to have a side-by-side thing here. So the biggest thing that you'll notice is that the attack range of this ability has increased. So there's a lot more damage just being thrown out now over the course of the whole ability, which is really good. I've noticed that the Black Spirit Rage ability activates a lot more faster now. It feels a lot more smoother. If you've used it on labs, you know what I mean. It just feels a lot more nimble, a lot more reactive. I don't know how to describe it. Just a lot more updated in general. It has a way bigger AoE when slamming with the final hit. And it got a slight damage increase as well. It's got like a 1% overall damage increase. It's not really that much, but it's still there. But the biggest change out of the whole thing, which is the absolutely biggest thing and massive thing for console users, is that you can now instantly cancel it with using your right trigger. So you can press the input with left stick B going up, and then you instantly click RT to have all of that damage focused into one area, which is massive. If you guys remember in the Giant Leap video that we just made a couple days ago, I described that as one of the biggest issues, is that, I have all this AP, all this RBF crystals in, and this ability doesn't do anything. So now with this ability, you'll actually be able to do damage. You'll be able to focus the damage in one concentrated area. It's got a bigger AoE, a little bit more damage. It activates faster, and you can instantly cancel it. So it's absolutely amazing change. I see a lot more people probably going to be going to Awakening now. There's still going to be the rerollers, I think, trying to do that with Suck, but they'll be swiftly disappointed when they leap into an area and nobody gets CC'd and everyone just moves out of the way. So that's pretty much the Global Lab changes. That's the TLDR version for Succession and Awakening. Massively up for Awakening users. This is going to be very good for console. And unfortunately, there is some Suck nerfs, but we already knew that was happening. We'll just wait until next week to see what else they're going to nerf. So, yep, that out of the way. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.